Morning has come, Sunday is here, and on behalf of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Catskills, I welcome you. I'm Joyce White, the worship associate this morning, and I use she, they pronouns. We're excited to have attendees both in person as well as virtually on Zoom. If you're a visitor online and you would like to be added to our mailing list, you can put your name and email address in the chat box area on Zoom. If you are visiting in person this morning and you'd like to stand and introduce yourself, you may do so.
Hi, Rick, Larry, Joe.
Hi, I'm Dylan. This is Alyssa. We're moving to this area in a couple months.
Excellent, welcome.
Joyce. Fran.
Wes?
Becky. We live in the 12th floor, friends of Nancy, two of us are friends of Nancy here.
Morning, welcome.
Hi, I'm Linda. Lived in the area for like 30 years and just finally wanted to stop here.
Welcome. Welcome, everyone. You can visit our website, uucatskills.org, to find contact information, to be added to the mailing list, and to find the latest newsletter. You will also find newsworthy items on upcoming events in our UU community. A reminder that people of all ages, children young and old, are welcome here at UU Catskills. There's a space across the hall for anyone who would like to hear the service while still being able to freely move about. After the service, please stay for an in-person or virtual coffee break. Please take a moment now to turn off your electronic devices. Give yourself permission to be fully present here, now. I have a few announcements this morning. First Acoustics has something different planned for March, a screening of the documentary film How Saba Kept Singing. This is the story of how Cantor David Wisnia, also known as Saba, survived confinement in a Nazi death camp through music. Saba's grandson, Avi Wisnia, also a musician, will be here to introduce the film and perform his music. It's 2 weeks from today, Sunday afternoon, March 10th. Please see Coco or Bruce for more details. They promise you'll be home in plenty of time for the Oscars. Immediately after the service this morning, we will have a celebration in the social area hosted by our new LGBTQ social group, Queer Like Us. Decorations. At noon today, Sterling Cruz-Her will present their workshop, Trans 101, A Modern Understanding of Gender. We ask that people start gathering for the workshop at 10 minutes to 12 so we can start promptly at noon. This workshop requires pre-registration and we have a few spots remaining, so please see Danielle if you wish to attend. If you're not attending, we ask that you continue any conversation in the hallway in order for Sterling and our participants to feel the most comfortable with this important and sensitive material. Each Sunday, the Social Action Committee shares notice of an event, opportunity, or idea that involves an easy way to support our justice work beyond our four walls. This morning, we're going to hear from Paula Silby.
Good morning. Most of you know that our congregation is an affiliate of Ulster Immigrant Defense Network, which works with 450 people in Ulster County. They have a desperate need currently for furniture, especially beds, tables, etc. But what we can do right now, because not everybody has an extra bed in their house, in April, we will be doing, 3 times a year, we do a big collection. And in April, they've requested for personal hygiene items. And you don't have to wait till April. there's a box out in the hallway, and one side is for the community refrigerators. I don't have the right name, but something like that. And then on the right side, you can leave personal hygiene products, including toilet paper. I mean, you do need that, right? So I've got a display up here of some ideas, but you know what you can do. And if we could start filling that box before April, it would be great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Unitarian Universalism is a liberal religious faith that carries no creed and welcomes all seekers. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. We are guided by a set of principles and written sources that encompass the many ways we come to know and understand the world, the universe, and the divine. Our principles are important to us at UU Catskills, and we live our values on a daily basis. We affirm that Black Lives Matter. We are a welcoming and affirming congregation for the LGBTQ community. We are a congregational affiliate of the Ulster Immigrant Defense Network. And we are an active voice in the effort to address climate change. Our sanctuary is built on the tribal land of the Lenni Lenape people, currently known as Kingston. Our prelude this morning is Silk Hat and Walking Cane by Florence Price, played by Catherine Catabiani. Are there any children here this morning that would like to help us light the chalice? We need to start again. Let me try this here. Here you go, Megan. Got it? Can you reach that? There you go. Thank you. You can join me in saying the chalice lighting words which may be found in your order of service. We light this chalice in grateful, loving community. Even in the darkest of times, may its flame light path to courage, justice, and hope. And now our unison affirmation. May we be reminded here of our highest aspirations and inspire to bring our gifts of love to all living beings. May we know once again that we are not isolated, but connected in wonder and joy to mystery and miracle in the universe, in this community, and in each other. Our opening words this morning are by the Reverend Michelle LeGrave. We gather together. We arrive as individuals, as couples, as families, as neighbors, as friends. We got here by walking, by biking, by riding, by driving, by connecting. We bring with us our joys and our sorrows, our laughter and our tears, our worries and our fears, our questions and our beliefs, our ethics and our values. Some of us arrived early this morning, or joined us 10 minutes ago, or encountered obstacles on their way, or will arrive just in time for the sermon, or will sign online later this week or even next month. We are sitting in the pews, leaning on walkers or canes, stretching in the aisles, settling in wheelchairs, and relaxing in recliners. We, members, friends, and visitors alike, come from many paths and join together as one congregation to lift up our highest ideals. We have gathered, now let's worship. Our reading this morning is Willing to Fail by the Reverend Amanda Pape, read by Daniel Layata.
There's a sign hanging in my therapist's office that says, "What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail?" I know it's supposed to be inspiring, to encourage people to try for their dreams, but I've always found it a little silly. I mean, of course, you'd do all kinds of things if you were guaranteed to succeed at them. Picture me running my own TV show as the latest spiritually grounded national expert on, well, just about anything, I suppose, since I couldn't fail. Lately, I've been thinking instead about what I could do, maybe must do, even though I know I could fail. This came home to me the other day when I was lifting weights. That week, we were trying for a PR, a personal record, basically the most weight you've ever lifted in that particular way. I had plateaued the last few times I tried, lifting the same weight, even though I knew logically I had been getting stronger. Finally, the coach came over to me and told me to add some plates on, to make the weight bar heavier. But I don't think I can do that much. That's the point, she told me. You'll never know how much you can do until you figure out what you can't do. Something clicked. I added the extra plates. I was sure I wouldn't be able to lift it, but I was newly willing to try and fail. I set that personal record. I added more plates, and then I set another personal record. Then I added still more plates, and I couldn't get the bar off the ground. That final fail helped me to know I had actually hit my limit. It helped me understand more completely my own strength. I'm pretty sure that taking a Sharpie to signs in your therapist's office is frowned upon, so I'll let it be. But if I could, I think I'd substitute the question, what can you do only if you're willing to fail?
Our hymn this morning is Up to the Mountain, performed by Liz Thomas.
I went up to the mountain because you asked me to. just over the mountain. That peaceful valley, few come to know. I may never get there, ever in this lifetime, but sooner or later, it's there I will go. Sooner or later, it's there I will go.
Our Not for Children story this morning is Woohoo, You're Doing Great by Sandra Boynton, read by Keith Boynton. It'll be on our screen.
Hello, I'm Keith Boynton. I'm Sandra Boynton's son, and today I'm going to read to you my mom's new book, which is called Woohoo, You're Doing Great. Are you ready? Let's do it. Woohoo, You're Doing Great by Sandra Boynton. Have you been feeling kind of low? A little lost? A little slow? Perhaps Is that you? Or are you feeling quite upended, underprepared, and overextended? Or is it all too much for you? So much to learn, so much to do. Well, I can help you, yes indeed. I know exactly what you need. You need a chicken to wave and cheer, and you're in luck. I'm here, right here. There's surely nothing more fantastic than someone who's enthusiastic. Are you learning how to skate? Woohoo, you're doing great! Are you practicing ballet? Woohoo, you're A-OK! Did you teach yourself to bake? Woohoo, you made that cake! Woohoo, way to tap! Woohoo, way to nap! You woke me up. Oh no, I made a mistake. I'm no good at this.
But everybody makes mistakes. That's how we learn. That's what it takes. Woohoo for you. You tried your best. Perhaps you'd like a little rest. While both my friends are snoozing there, I have a thought I'd like to share. It's often very nice to hear an encouraging word, a kindly cheer. And it helps to say a big woohoo to someone who is feeling blue. But I think perhaps the best woohoo is the one you say each day to you. Woohoo! You're doing great.
The end. The part of the mouse was played by Sandra Boynton. The soundtrack is by Michael Ford. And seriously, you are doing great. Thanks for listening.
And join me in singing the children out. It's not in your order of service, but we're going to have joys and concerns this morning. We take this time to reflect on our joys and concerns and acknowledge the mutual support of our community. We ask that if you have a personal joy or concern, that you share it with us as Ellen takes the microphone around. I have a few minutes of meditation. Please be still for the silence. It's now time for our offering. You can give in several ways. Drop something in the basket when it is passed, use the QR code on your order of service, or give by going to uucatskills.org. We contribute to worthy organizations with our half-plate donation. This money is shared among 7 charitable groups. Please give generously. The offertory this morning is Nimble Feet by Florence Price, played by Catherine Catabiani. You may have noticed that we don't have a minister this year, but you may not realize why. About 3 years ago, when we were looking to hire a minister as the pandemic wound down, UUA told us that we would have our pick of ministers, as many more people were graduating from seminary than we had open positions. It turns out that wasn't the case. If you think about it, the pandemic was especially hard on parish ministers. One of the duties of our minister is pastoral care. The workload varies greatly, from a few people needing it to none at all, and it's not a consistent amount of hours each week. At the start of the pandemic, when we were all stressed, often in different ways, worried about our own health or that of loved ones, uncertainty about the pandemic, work from home, homeschool, profound isolation, and loss of income and food insecurity, there was a collective need in all congregations for a calm presence and for support. All at once, pastoral care went from an occasional need to nonstop, sometimes even overwhelming. And ministers were called on to provide this support at the same time that they were also faced with the same challenges that we were. Homeschooling, loss of family income, health worries, loss of loved ones, and in some cases, congregations were not able to meet the salaries of their ministers, causing job insecurity. So all those seminary graduates took positions other than parish ministry. Instead of having our pick of ministers, our ministers had a pick of congregations. And it looked grim for our congregation. We thought we might not have a minister. June, the ideal time to contract with a minister, came and went. By summer, when most applicants had accepted job offers elsewhere, we started to worry. But we had a late entry, Reverend Bob. Reverend Bob took a 2-year position with us in a long commute and did a fantastic job for us. I remember Reverend Bob advising us that the only thing worse than not having a minister was having the wrong minister. And we knew he was right. He spent quite a bit of time before he left prepping us for the possibility of no minister. I was often asked during that summer after he left if I thought we would find a replacement. I was optimistic. Reverend Bob had been a late entry, and I felt that it could happen again. But I woke up one day in September and realized that it had come to pass. We were starting a year without a minister. And many of us in leadership probably had a similar deer-in-the-headlights moment. How would we fill those jobs normally supplied by our minister? What could we accomplish even though we knew we might fail? And how could we accomplish these goals without sacrificing spirituality? Today's culture often feels defined by a widespread hunger for success, sometimes superficial success. Spiritual emptiness can come from trying to achieve success and recognition in the world, striving to accomplish goals and earn the respect or esteem of others without looking inward to the core of who we are. We all know that gratitude can be a spiritual practice. An attitude of thankfulness can release positive energy into the world and create a ripple effect on those around us. So how could we accomplish our goal while still maintaining our spirituality? Clearly, we would need to step up our game and pull together. We were in better shape than some congregations to handle this period. We had established committees and templates in place, but it still took some time to establish our rhythm. And recently, I realized that we were doing great without a minister. At some point, our collective mindset had changed from getting through this time without a minister to thriving without a minister. The areas most impacted without a minister are Sunday services and pastoral care. But our board has budgeted appropriately to cover them. Reverend Diane is providing excellent pastoral care for us. The board has also remained focused on long-range planning. They've continued to follow our 5-year mission-driven strategic plan with appropriate revisions for not having a minister or our delay in the capital campaign due to COVID. They've maintained strong communication within the congregation, congregational meetings about our physical space, monthly congregational meetings with lay leaders, cottage meetings, and continuing council meetings. They realized the need for parish-sized governance and initiated a Healthy Congregations Task Force to address congregational collisions. They formed the Leadership Development and Engagement Committee to help foster community outreach and to better utilize our own volunteers. And they reinvigorated our capital campaign. And this was a brave decision on the part of the board. They could have easily put this project on the back burner until we had a minister. And I've seen other signs of a healthy congregation. We're holding our own in attendance and membership. We're seeing an increase in visitors, especially young families and trans and non-binary young adults. And we're continuing to offer UU 101 for those interested in membership. There's been an increase in volunteers, with more members taking on a leadership position. We've improved our tech support with better sound and lighting. This improved experience has led to over 25% of our members attending services on Zoom. When I joined the worship committee, we were only responsible for one service a month. Overnight, it went to every Sunday, 52 times a year. And you may have seen our collective heads spinning. As a member of the worship committee, I might be a bit biased, but I think we're doing an impressive job. Thank you. We have a service every Sunday. That in itself is an accomplishment. We've booked Sundays so far out that right now, our first unscheduled Sunday is in June. And like any thriving organization, now that we've found our rhythm, we're looking towards long-range planning. Throughout our congregation, all of these efforts have increased our skills and confidence, strengthened our connections, and given us a chance to stretch our wings. We've done an outstanding job, and one of the ways to express our thankfulness is by celebrating together. As we learned in our children's story this morning, woo-hoo, we need a chicken to wave and cheer. Unfortunately, we're short on chickens at the moment, so we need to be our own cheerleaders. I hope you will all join together after the service to extend our gratitude to each other into a celebration. As is our tradition here at UU Catskills, there will be cake. But something else has happened for me this year. Leading a service is an awesome and humbling responsibility. As worship leaders, whether we know it or not, our job is to hold the worship and set the desired tone. We try to create a vessel into which each person places their needs, whether it's transformation, peace, healing, or joy, and where they merge with the needs of others. When the space is held carefully, there's room for everyone, and then some. We try to create a space where we can all take appropriate risks and make ourselves vulnerable as we challenge one another to grow. We are the keeper of the vessel of worship, that container at the intersection of reason and mystery that hopefully invites us to the edge, the place where all genuine growth occurs. Have you ever entered a holy space, perhaps a cathedral, a centuries-old temple, a sweat lodge? You can feel the spiritual energy. It's palpable. There's a thickness in the air. And that's what we're trying to create here on Sunday morning. I see my job as creating and directing spiritual energy. It starts with the ringing of the bell, kicks off with the prelude, and ebbs and flows throughout the service. I'm nurturing it in much the same way that I might nurture kindling into flame. And sometimes when I'm watching the service, I feel that energy, and I hope that some of you do too. I've learned that the experience on this side of the pulpit is different, though. As the energy goes out and comes back over and over, the waves of energy come back to me increased each time. I didn't expect this to happen. I didn't even know it was a possibility, but it's a powerful experience. It's elevated my own spiritual energy, and this has spilled over into other areas of my life. All of a sudden, everything is just falling into place, and I'm feeling blessed. And this is the gift that I'm receiving from all of you, and you didn't even know you were doing it. And I am incredibly grateful for this opportunity. My wish is that all of you can find something similar. We've all stepped up this year in our own way. Look at what we've accomplished. We didn't fail. I've recently learned that we currently have 2 strong ministerial candidates, and I'm having mixed feelings. Of course I want to minister, but I've learned that we can do this. We can lead and govern ourselves, and we've grown stronger together, grown more confident, strengthened our connections, and we've arrived at a place of smooth sailing. At the same time, I'm not quite ready to give this up. I feel a sadness that we may be ending this sooner than I thought. Thank you for all that you have done and continue to do for our congregation, and thank you for what you've given me. Thanking you all for stepping up when you were needed. Please stand if you are able and join in singing hymn number 311, Let It Be a Dance.
May I have the
Our closing words are by the Reverend Eric Walker Wilkstrom. If you are who you were, and if the person next to you is who they were, if none of us has changed since the day we came in here, we have failed. The purpose of this community, of any church, temple, zendo, mosque, is to help its people grow. We do this through encounters with the unknown, in ourselves, in one another, in the other, whoever that might be for us, however hard that might be, because these encounters have many gifts to offer. So may you go forth from here this morning, not who you were, but who you could be. So may we all. Join me as we extinguish the flame, the words in your order of service. Extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. Thank you for all that you do. Go in peace.